Salute, MobTube. How is everybody today? Let's see. Let me look at some comments. I was reading some before I clicked live. I saw Don Berlin has some ideas. Let me shout some people out. Miss Can't Be Wrong, Johnny the Greek, Sven Larson, Jason Mikesell, William Brooklyn, Chicago's Moccasin. I saw this comment earlier. I wish I could help you find it. Well, it's in you can't get it out of Mike Slick's ass. Well, you know what? It's probably better off if it stays there. That's hilarious. Iceman's Poison Cheeseburger, salute to you. Don Berlin, topic. Why is it some addicts and alcoholics, in hating their enemies so much, they land up flying too close to the sun? In the end, they burn themselves up in the process. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean by that, Don. I'm going to be honest. I think I know what you mean. I think you're saying that some active addicts, out of anger and rage towards their enemies, maybe they wind up only damaging themselves. But I'm not exactly sure. Thank you for the idea anyway, though. Who else we got? Frankie Rizzo, M. Soretti. Let's see. Eagle Plumber. Let's see. And Don Berlin has another idea for the channel. Maybe we don't count on Chris each week for a topic and come up with one that maybe we toss out on the table for Chris to pick up. I'm sorry, for Chris to pick from, and then he does the lead on the topic. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could use some help sometimes, for sure, Don. Mike Fleming, how are you? Maverick, I'm not sure if I shouted you out already. Steve Cutler, my man. Steve Cutler's a good guy. I'll tell you what, a truly good person. I wake up today, I go outside because I'm always checking for packages because we're always getting them. And I got a beautiful present from Steve Cutler. Some nice cigars, some cutters, everything. Absolutely awesome. Made my day. So thank you, Steve Cutler. Thank you very, very much. Majorly Awesome, how are you? Okay, that's what you meant. All right, I got you, Don. Good, because I felt a little stunad there for a minute. I was like, why am I not understanding? But I'm glad I did. Let me see what else we got. Oh, Majorly Awesome. You making fun of my shirt? Yeah, well, listen, I'm wearing the taxi yellow and black Jordans. You know what I mean? I had to wear a yellow shirt or something with yellow in it. And I didn't have anything else with yellow in it that I felt like wearing. So here I am. And if I look bright red, it's because of this yellow shirt. See, these cameras with the white balance, they decide how you look. They decide what your complexion is going to be like for the day. They decide how dark the room is going to be. It all depends, in my case, on the shirt I'm wearing. No lie. If I wear a white shirt, I look really dark. If I wear a black shirt, I look like an albino. It's very aggravating. And right now, I look like an apple. Fantastic. So, but at least I match. Thank you, Steve. Thank you again, bro. Randy West, how are you? IFBS, I don't want to use ever again because it destroyed my life. Bro, I hear you on that, and that's the right mentality. Because some people, because their lives have been destroyed, they continue to use because they figure, how much worse can it get? Trust me when I tell you, it can get much worse. Now, Brian, I don't know your exact situation. Oh, Redhead Stepchild, what's up, my friend? I don't know your exact situation with, say, health and stuff, but I'm going to start out this show by telling you guys what just happened to me a couple of hours ago. And I was just on the phone with my friend Bill Catolo, and I was telling him, I had a terrifying experience today, guys. One that I've never had before. Okay, and if it wasn't for the fact that I started feeling better, I would absolutely be in the hospital right now. So I'll tell you that story first, and then we'll move on from there. Oh, you have COPD. Oh, Jesus, Brian. That's terrible, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, Miss Can't Be Wrong, let me tell you what happened, right? So I am, I don't know if it's an OCD thing. I don't know what it is. But if I start something or if I have something to do, okay, if I start something, it has to be finished. And until it's finished, I'm losing my shit. Okay. I'm not comfortable. I'm not happy. Okay. Um, that's one thing. If it's just that I have something to do, I feel the need to get that done immediately. You know what I mean? I don't want it lingering. I don't want to say, oh, I'll put this off till later, whatever. Unfortunately, a lot of things in my life I have to put to the side or just let go. Like I haven't been getting back to many emails lately, and it's just because I figured out that's one of the things that I just don't really have time for anymore. So that's why I'm pretty much going to stay away from the email unless it's, something really important. Certain things, I used to drive myself crazy. Like, I got to get to my emails today. I got to answer all my comments today. I got to, you know what I mean? Even with shows, I feel like dog shit. And it's like, nope, this is your job, Chris. You have to do a show today. You guys have seen me. I've been on here. I've been on here in bad shape from time to time. You know what I'm saying? But this is the way I am. When something needs to be done, I have to get it done. I have to. And it's to an extent, it's probably a good quality. For example, I keep the house very clean. Okay. All right. Very, very clean because I just can't have it any other way. If I see something that's messy, I have to fix that immediately. You know what I mean? Certain things like that. If a check engine light comes on in the car, I'm getting a check that day. You know what I mean? I'm not even waiting, like, little things. I get very anxious and I want to make sure things are done. That's just the way I am. Uh, I've actually made Shanna's life very, very easy by being like that. I'm not your average man. You know what I mean? I will gladly do stuff around the house and shit like that. It doesn't bother me at all. You know what I mean? Because there's a certain way I want things anyway. So I'd almost rather do it that way. And I'm not talking about a dirty house. The house is never dirty. I'm talking about like if I come home and there's mail, scattered all across the kitchen table, that's got to be cleaned up immediately. If there's crumbs on the counter, oh no, no, no. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like, this is the way I am. I don't know why. I didn't used to be like that either. So maybe it's part of the whole, rewiring of my brain. I don't know. But that's the way I am. The car is always fucking immaculate clean inside and out. I keep the car washed constantly. I'm very, I like to be very clean, neat, and organized, and I like everything around me to be the same way. So anyway, Christmas with this mind state is a motherfucker. I mean, it's tough. It's tough because, or mindset, I should have said. I'm sorry. Um, it's it causes me a lot of anxiety because even though, like Shanna's working a lot. Shanna's working 60 hours this week. Okay, so again, I want to make sure everything's taken care of. I don't want Shanna to have anything to do on her days off. It's the way I am. I want her to just be able to relax and have fun. But Shanna's done some stuff for Christmas already, of course. She's gotten the kids a lot of things. She's done some Christmas shopping, but, she just doesn't have time, and I do. So I'm taking care of the Christmas shopping, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to lose my fucking mind, okay? Because every day it's like, oh, I got to get this. I got to get that. I got to get, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I forgot this person needs a card and I got to get cash from the ATM to put in that card. And then I got to go buy this for this one. And, it's, and the traffic and the people, I hate people. It's very stressful for me is what I'm saying. So today I was out at the fucking mall. Okay. We got a pretty nice mall here in York called the Galleria Mall. All right. I'm there quite often, a lot. So, I've been at that mall every day for like the last 6 or 7 days. Either that one or the one in Lancaster, Park City Mall, okay, which is huge. It's an enormous fucking mall. I could do without that, but anyway, I'm talking too much and not getting to the point. So, last night I got a gift for my stepson's girlfriend. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say what gift that is because there's a good chance they're watching this right now. But I got a gift for my stepson's girlfriend. We love her. She's like part of the family. You know what I mean? I bring this gift home and I sit it on the end table by the couch, and my mom sees it and falls in love with it. So I'm like, all right, I got to go back to the mall tomorrow and get her one of these too. You know what I'm saying? And then while I'm at the mall, I see something else for my stepson, even though I thought I was done shopping for him. And I said, I got to get him this. You know what I mean? So anyway, I leave the mall today and I got in the car and I got a very nice message from Shinebox with a very, very generous gift. He sent me some money. Said Merry Christmas, to me and my family. Joe Shinebox is a great guy. I think we all know that. And after I'm looking at this message, which put a big smile on my face, who's not happy when they receive a gift like that? I started getting pains in my chest. Now, every now and then, I get little stuff like that, but it's like stuff we all get. You get it from gas, you get it from anxiety, whatever. But this was pretty fucking persistent. You know what I mean? It was bad. It was getting worse and worse as I was driving. And my mom called and I was talking to her for a minute. And then I didn't tell her about the pains. I got off the phone with her. Right after I got off the phone with her, it got so bad that just taking a breath was excruciating. Like I had to take these little shallow breaths. You know what I mean? I can't explain it, but I'm sure some of you know what I mean. Anytime I tried to take a deep breath, the pain in my chest right around here was excruciating. So I got nervous. So I pulled up in front of a Dollar Tree. I went in the store because I figured, okay, I'm having a heart attack and I don't want to be alone. I want somebody to be able to call an ambulance in case I'm not able to. You know what I mean? And of course, I didn't want to call one right away because I was hoping it would go away. I went in the store, and while I'm in there, I find a card for someone that I can, because you got to buy fucking greeting cards, which I hate. But I know Shanna wants greeting cards for certain family members. So I see one, I pick it up. The pain is getting worse and worse. It got so bad, I couldn't make it to the register. So I threw the card down. I went out to my car. I got in. I called my mom. I said, Mom, I'm going to the hospital. I'm going to the emergency room. Wake Shanna up because Shanna's been working third shift. Wake Shanna up and tell her I'm going to the hospital. Okay. So my mom was getting ready to wake her up, and my mom, went into a panic. What's wrong? I told her the chest pains are out of control. I can't even breathe. My mom could hear it in my voice, that I couldn't even take deep breaths or anything. So she gets all nervous and scared. And I start driving to the hospital, and it just went away. Now, the whole thing lasted, I'd say, 20 minutes, maybe 25. But it was the worst fucking pain. And then, after I got off the phone with my mom the first time, my arms started to tingle and get a little numb. And my left arm, I said, oh, Jesus, fuck. I'm having a heart attack. You know what I mean? So, it was terrifying. But luckily, the pain went away. Once the pain went away, I was able to take deep breaths, and I felt a lot better. So then I went and did some other shit I had to do. But I stayed on the phone with my mom for about 15 minutes. I just stayed parked after the fucking pain went away. And it was like I was recovering from it. I was slowly starting to feel better, But I really thought that was it. I'm not saying I thought I was going to die, but I thought I was having a panic attack. And if I didn't get to the hospital quick enough, I was going to die. I mean, a heart attack. Did I say panic attack? I'm sorry. I thought I was having a heart attack. But luckily, hopefully that's not what happened. You know what I mean? Hopefully it was just a little bit of anxiety. But while I was talking on the phone with my mom, and my mom has always been my rock, you know what I mean? She has a lot of wisdom, for sure. And she said, Chris, you have to slow down. You have to slow down. She said, you are constantly moving, constantly, which is what I tell you guys. She said, you're in and out of the house all day. She said, yesterday I came home. You were on the phone for a couple of hours. I heard you talking. Then you went and did a show and you talked for a couple of hours, and then you got done with the show and you were doing stuff around the house. Then you wake up, you take a shower, you go straight out. She said, you have to slow down. You have to relax. Nothing is worth risking your health for. Nothing. And my mom, being my mom, the sweetheart she is like, and my mom is 70 years old. She's in pretty bad physical shape, but she's still capable of going out and doing things. She does. She's very independent as far as that. At home, we do a lot of shit for her. You know what I mean? Of course. But my mom is a trooper. She will drag her ass outside and go do what she wants to do. She don't want to be driven around. She don't want any of that being done. She just has a lot of trouble walking while she's out. So if she has a shopping cart, like anytime she goes in the store, she needs a shopping cart. She has to lean on it. You know what I mean? I forget what my point was about that, but oh yeah, she said to me, just give me a list, whatever you need. I'm not going out today, but I can do it. I said, you're crazy, Ma. No, it's the other way around. You tell me what you need, and I'll do it. But she was very worried about me. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, guys, I'm sorry if this was a boring story, but that shit was fucking terrifying. Because I've had panic attacks before. I've had chest pains before, but this shit, it felt like there was a blockage. That's what it felt like. It felt like every time I tried to take a deep breath, something was stopping me. And it almost felt like something was obstructing my heartbeat. It was fucking scary. But it certainly gave me a topic for this show because let me tell you, and I was saying this to a friend the other day who's going through some health issues and doesn't want to go to the doctor. If you don't have your health, guys, you have nothing. Nothing. You could have $1 billion fucking dollars. And if you have a terminal illness or a condition that money can't fix, and there's plenty of them out there, look at what we see happen to celebrities and stuff with cancer and shit. And they got all the money in the world. Money can fix damn near everything, but not everything. So I don't care if you got a fucking $1 billion laying around. It ain't going to do you no good if you don't have your health. Okay, if you're in a fucking wheelchair, if you're blind, or if your heart's so bad that you can barely stand up. So this is another thing I want to say during an addiction and recovery show. Okay, I feel like this is the perfect time because on a regular show, it would make no sense with the shit we talk. But guys, if you're still using, but you still have your health, it's a great time to stop. Because let me tell you, one day you could have your health, the next day your health could be fucking destroyed. Or you could end up like me with some shit that, your doctors tell you you could live to be 70 or you could go downhill in a year and you're on a heart transplant list. That's what I hear every time I go to the doctor. Well, they never said 70. I ain't gonna front. They said you could make it another 20 years or so, or, you could go downhill, just like that. So I always got to be worried and think about that. I don't. I refuse to worry about it or think about it. But it's in the back of my mind. You know what I mean? It's always lurking. You don't want to be in my situation. And listen, my situation is nothing compared to a lot of people's. You could wind up with liver disease, cirrhosis, hepatitis. You could wind up with fucking AIDS if you're using dirty needles. You don't want that shit. I'm telling you, you don't want. I just went to the pharmacy and picked up some of my prescriptions, and I picked up 5 prescriptions that are all life-sustaining medications. In other words, I'm not picking up fucking anxiety medicine and shit. I take that too. But today I picked up 5 life-sustaining medications. I am 43. And that's not all of them. That's just what I needed right now, that needed to be refilled right now. All right. And this is thanks to, now I can't say, nobody can say this is all from alcohol and drug abuse. Even the doctors can't say that, simply because my grandmother died of heart failure. My mother has had heart failure since she was 42. She's had a pacemaker since she was 28. She didn't develop the congestive heart failure till later. Okay, but she had a pregnancy that was very, very hard on her, and she wound up with a pacemaker at 28. So the doctors, when I was first diagnosed, told me you were most likely going to wind up with heart failure because of your family. But the things you did to yourself with alcohol and drugs sped it up and rushed it along to the point where, I might not have been dealing with this shit till I was 55 or 60. But thanks to my drug and alcohol use, I got diagnosed at 36. And at 36 years old, I had 10% of my fucking heart function. I could not stand up in the shower. I had to lay down to wash myself. Luckily, thanks to modern medicine, okay, I don't thank God. I thank things I can see and hold in my hand. You know what I mean? Modern medicine, science, my heart got better. And now I'm able to function like a normal individual. But still, anything can happen. If my heart gets worse, there's only certain things they can do. And there's not many. I could wind up with an LVAD. That's a left ventricular assistance device, which is basically a fucking suitcase that I have to carry around, okay, with wires that go into my goddamn heart. I'll check out first. I'm not doing that. I got to watch what words I use, but you know what I mean. Or I could wind up on a heart transplant list that I would never get a heart transplant anyway, because it's not that simple. Before a heart transplant center puts you on a list, they need to know that you have the money to fucking keep up with the medications and stuff that will, assist in your recovery from the heart transplant and make the heart transplant successful. And you have to be on medications forever, I believe. And these could be $1 million fucking dollars a year. No bullshit. Just for the medications. So, plus, they want to make sure you haven't smoked a cigarette in at least 6 months, no nicotine use, things like that. It's not as easy. Oh, I just get a heart transplant. No. It's not that easy. Okay. So, if I go downhill, I'm dead. Period. So, you don't want to be in that situation. So if you're still using and you haven't developed any major heart problems or liver diseases or fucking anything like that, or contracted any viruses like hepatitis or HIV, this is a great time to stop. Yeah, cost over $1 million. Absolutely, yeah. Rejection meds, yeah. Listen, it's a great time to stop using. Take my word for it, guys, because you might think you're built like steel. You might think you're Iron Man. You could put anything into your body. You've been doing it for so long and you're still fairly healthy. That could change in the fucking blink of an eye. The blink of an eye. You don't even know what's going on. And let me tell you something else. You don't know what could already be underlying and getting to the point where it makes itself known. In other words, I had heart problems I was probably experiencing the heart failure for 6 fucking months before it got so bad that I actually had to go to the hospital and got diagnosed with heart failure. I didn't know I had it. I thought I was, having panic attacks and shit when I couldn't breathe. No, it was heart failure. Okay. And you could have, let me tell you, a lot of people don't wind up with cirrhosis until after they quit drinking. Now, I'm not saying that's, that you shouldn't quit drinking. You should do that no matter what. Because even if you already have it, it's only going to get worse the more you drink. But your body, and I've been told this by doctors, a lot of things don't present themselves until after you get clean, simply because it's like your body is in shock. While you're doing the damage, the problems aren't you're not symptomatic, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I know people that wound up with really bad breathing problems, asthma, and all kinds of shit a year after they quit smoking. Things like that. You quit drinking, and a year later you might find out you got cirrhosis. Different things like that. Things catch up to you sometimes once you begin to get healthy again. It doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it actually does. Because like I said, while you're still doing that damage, your body's in shock. And not only that, you're under the influence. You're not feeling right anyway. You don't know. I mean, you're not feeling the pain you would fucking feel if you were clean and sober. You're not feeling the symptoms that you would feel if you're clean and sober, because you're always in a fucking daze. You're always in an altered state of mind. I'm sorry if this show is depressing, but I got to be honest with you guys. And like I said, none of that is a reason not to quit. It's, I know some people will be like, fuck that, I'm going to keep drinking then. No, because if you have those things, you have them. I mean, the longer you use, the worse they're going to get. So you might as well do what I did. You know what I did when I got clean? I knew, I was going to fucking find out some bad news down the road. And I probably will find out more in the future. But I decided that I'm going to take my fucking medicine, so to speak. I'm going to get clean and sober. And whatever I'm afraid of, medical diagnoses, whatever it may be that might come in the future, I'm just going to fucking take it like a man. I have heart failure. Okay, don't be a fucking baby. Live with it and do everything you can to stay on this planet as long as possible. Don't mope, don't pout, and don't fucking, use just to take your mind off the fact that you're sick, because you'll only get sicker. So, I have friends that I get very mad at because they have some pretty severe symptoms and they fucking refuse to go to the doctor. And I'll tell them, like, bro, we love you. You know what I mean? We need you here. Whether it's somebody from MobTube or a friend in my personal life or even a family member, because I got some stubborn ass fucking family members. You gotta go get checked the fuck out. Don't put it off. Do not put it off. And if you're using and all that shit, whether you think you're healthy or you think you're sick, quit. Just quit. Whatever it takes. Go to rehab. Don't try to quit cold turkey. You know what I mean? Unless, your addiction is fucking marijuana or something. Just go to a fucking rehab. Even cocaine. You could quit that cold turkey, I guess, but it ain't easy without getting away. Without getting away from it for a while. If it's available, you're probably going to do it, no matter how bad you don't want to. So it's like I always say, I know I sound like a broken record, but get into a fucking facility and get away from all this shit for a while, even if it's only for 2 weeks. And then, you'll begin to get your health together and all that. If you have some issues, oh, well, you got to live with them. You got to take some medications, whatever. Don't dwell on it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Stay strong and keep it moving. That's all you can do. You know how many people I know that if they had my illnesses, they would go into a very dark place. They would slip into a very serious depression, or they would decide, fuck this, I'm dying anyway, I'm just going to use stuff like that. Some people are like that. I can't say it makes them weak. Everybody can make their own choices as to how they want to deal with things. But the way I want to deal with them is to make every day count. Live every day to the fullest, like it's my last. And I want to keep a smile on my fucking face. I don't want to dwell on the fact that I have what I have, I don't. I don't want the people around me to feel bad for me. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want sympathy. Treat me like a regular human being, because I am. Until I get so sick that I can't function anymore, I'm a regular fucking human being. So we don't sit around the house and talk. Me and my mom, we don't sit around and discuss our heart failure and our problems and shit. Ignore it. Pretend it isn't even there. Because if you have that on your mind always, you're never going to be happy. Never. I'm sorry if I'm rambling and I'm all over the place. But that episode earlier, plus a phone conversation I had a little while ago, has me thinking, about people. I almost get angry. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself, because no matter who you are, there's somebody that loves you and needs you. So you got to think about them. You got to be selfless to some extent. Listen, if I ever got to the point where I really craved some cocaine and alcohol, to the point where I thought I was just going to go grab a bottle and a bag of Coke, I would hope that before I do that, and I know myself pretty well, that I could say, I know I would do this. I would think about what that's going to do to Shanna and my mom and my brother and my daughter and my stepkids. How bad that could turn out. What if I fucking, I take a bump and it's my last one, because that happens. So even if you're an active addiction, you have to stop to think about what you're doing to the people around you. And don't dwell on that either. Just fix it. I tell friends of mine this all the time, friends of mine that are depressed and shit. I know it's hard, but don't dwell on the problems. Focus on the solution. You know what I'm saying? That's like, with this Christmas shopping shit, this is a minor thing, but it gives you an example. I don't sit around and think about everything that needs to be done. I get my ass out and I get it done. I work on getting it all finished. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? Shanna had a situation maybe a year and a half ago, where she was driving to work in Harrisburg, and her car broke down right on the busiest part of the highway, right off an exit. You know what I mean? And I went and I got her. I instantly started working on how to get the car towed. I got that taken care of. Shanna was sad. She was crying. I said, don't be sad. Don't cry. Let's get you a new car, because that car is shot. You know what I mean? The head gasket was gone. We found that out right away. So that's it. Well, let's go get a new car. Let's not even worry about or think about the fact that you need a car. Let's just work on getting one. And within a few days, we had her a brand new car. Until then, we rented a car. You know what I mean? That's it. Problem solved. But if she sat around and I sat around for 2 fucking weeks thinking, oh my God, what are we going to do? How are we going to get a new car? And we weren't focusing on the solution. How much work would she have missed? How much, we would have been sharing my car back and forth. And at the time, I was working too, so that wasn't a possibility. We worked the same hours in 2 different cities. So, that's just an example of how you should think in life if you can. Never focus on the problem. Just focus on the solution. I don't know if any of you guys believe in The Secret, or if any of you have read it or watched it, because it is a documentary. I believe there's even a movie now. There's a book about it. There's also the book by, I think, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, The Laws of Attraction, things like that. These are things I do believe in, and I study these things. And The Secret, whether it's bullshit or not, and I don't know if it is or it isn't, but if you read this, or watch it, you could go find the documentary. I think it's on Amazon Prime for free, I believe, The Secret. It'll fucking teach you some things about how to think. And there's a lot of valuable tools that you can use. You'll learn some good things. Yeah, Alex, that's another thing. My mom used to tell me that, because, I was always nuts. One problem at a time. Yeah, you can't decide you're going to tackle all these things at once. Tackle one problem when you found the solution or you fix the issue, then move on to the next one. See, that's my problem. This is what my mom was telling me today. Even though I know that and I try to practice that, I got too much going on. I need to slow the fuck down. My mom told me straight up today, I need to slow down. I insist on getting everything done immediately. I don't sit back and say, you know what, there's 2 more days till Christmas. I can fucking spread this stuff out. No. I need it done now. And like last night, I did some of it. I got home and I realized there's more. So it was the first thing on my mind as soon as I woke up today. I had to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say, oh, well, I'll let Shanna handle it over the weekend or I'll wait. It's the way I am. My mind works on me. You know what I mean? I want everything. I'm so OCD at this point. I want everything so neat and organized. Even as soon as I'm done with the show, you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to wrap every fucking gift. I will not be happy until all of this is done and under the tree. And then all we got to worry about for Christmas Eve and Christmas is enjoying our family and opening presents and giving and receiving. And because it's the way my mind works. Which is not really good because shit like today happens. Whether that was a panic attack or whatever the fuck it was. Who knows? Maybe it was a goddamn gas bubble. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it woke me the fuck up and told me I need to slow down because if I keep moving the way I do, I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to have a heart attack. You ask Gunsmoke. All these dickheads say, oh, you never leave your house. Guys, for a guy who doesn't work a 9 to 5, I'm one of the busiest motherfuckers I've ever met. Like, I am fucking always doing something because I'm never comfortable or satisfied. I always feel like there's more that needs to be done. And I think that mindset comes from the fact that I'm sick and I don't know how much time I have. I honestly do. I don't know, but I apologize for this show, guys, because I know that from the minute it started, I've been rambling and I've been from one thing to the next and all over the place. Some of this might seem like it doesn't pertain to addiction or recovery, but it does. I just apologize for the fact, even this will work on me because this show is not neat and organized. I've been rambling and I apologize. I thank you for listening. But this is what I do that sets me apart from everyone else. I come on here and I tell you exactly what's on my mind. You know, speaking of the heart failure and stuff, I'll just address this now. Well, you know what? I won't. I was going to address another content creator that made a pretty sick video the other day, but it's better left for another show. Control what you what you can control. Absolutely, Beck. But I don't know about some of you guys. That's another thing, issue I have. I'm not going to lie when I say I have control issues. I'm not going to lie. You know, like a lot of the reasons I'm no fucking house husband. Okay. I am an old school guy to the point where I do feel like some work is women's work. Some work is men's work. I'm sorry if that's misogynistic. That's how I fucking feel. You know what I mean? I could go further in depth to what I mean, but I think you guys know. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, laundry. I don't want no fucking part of doing laundry. I will, but I don't want to. You know what I mean? I leave the laundry to Shanna. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? There's other things. It doesn't matter. You get my point. But the reason I do so much around the house is simply because I want it done my way. It is a control thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shanna will clean the whole house. She does it all the time. You know what I mean? She'll clean the whole house. She'll spend an entire day. She's like a machine. You know, she'll get everything fucking done. It's amazing, actually. And I'll see certain things and it'll bug me. So I'll redo it. You know, even though she did a great job, but it's a control thing. You know what I mean? It is. It is. I'm telling you, it can't be easy to live with me. It can't. It can't. This is why I treat Shanna like gold and I fucking spoil the shit out of her and I do everything I can to make her happy. Because I know that even without trying, I'm probably a fucking pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably a pain in the ass. But it is what it is, you know? But yeah, that's the way you should be. Like Beck said, control what you can control. If you insist on, taking on the world or taking on a shit ton of numerous tasks all at once, there's a very good chance you're going to do some damage to yourself. You're going to make yourself sick. You know, there's like me, one thing I have to learn is to just fucking relax. Relax. But I can't. I have to keep moving. That's the way I see it. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Handstand push-ups guy. You'll never convince an addict to quit using. They must come to that conclusion, and then and only then you can help them. Handstand push-up guy. You're right. You're right. But what am I supposed to do? I'm giving advice. I know I can't convince them, but I'm giving advice from my point of view, from things I've been through. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows, though, especially active addicts, that you're not going to listen to anyone until you've hit rock bottom. But listen, I can tell you what I've been through. That's the point of sharing at meetings and stuff like that. You could hear other people's stories, and maybe, it'll change your mindset or make you think differently about certain things. So I know I sound like I'm trying to convince people, and I am, even though I know that that's not a very it's not a simple task. It's most likely not going to work with anyone. But if anybody can listen to my story and I can somehow point them in the right direction or explain to them, what worked for me, things like that, it might help somebody. You know what I mean? It won't help everybody, but it might help somebody. I just do my best, handstand push-ups guy. Thank you, redheaded stepchild. Yeah, it does. This was my therapy right now. I had to rant. This is why I love you guys. You don't understand. All of you, even the ones who I'm not exactly sure who you are. Because you'll listen to me rant the way I just fucking did. And you know what? You're taking a lot of weight off Shanna's shoulders and my mom's shoulders. They don't have to hear this shit. I got it all out. So it is therapy for me. It is. And hopefully it is for you guys too. There's my man right there. Nobody. 999. What's up, buddy? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, my man. I'm glad you're here. I'm losing my shit today, nobody. I don't know if you heard. I gotta relax. Maybe this is my payback for all those years of benzo use. It was like, yeah, you ain't gonna be relaxed forever, motherfucker. Wait till you get clean. You're going to be a fucking madman. Control freaks are a nightmare to deal with. Yeah, well, luckily, though, I know how to, I don't try to control people. You know what I mean? I just try to control my situation. I try to, my environment, for example. You know what I'm saying? Little things. Like if I get in Shanna's car, and I rarely do, I'm like I said, I'm an old school guy. I believe the man should always drive. That might sound wrong, but every now and then I'll drive her car. You know what I'm saying? If that car is messy, I don't give a fuck what our plans were. I don't give a fuck if we're on the way to a goddamn wedding. We are going to clean this motherfucker first. It's just we are going to clean this bitch from top to bottom. And she does pretty good with keeping her car clean, but she's busy. She's a nurse. I might get in there, might be like 40 masks on the front floor of the fucking car, wrappers from fucking lunches she ate, whatever. No. We're going to clean this shit. But I don't try to control people. I would never try to control Shanna because that is going to ruin a relationship. I just want to control the things. I want to be comfortable. I want to be happy. I don't want to wake up and come downstairs and the living room's a mess, shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to have a bunch of tasks that I need to complete and I just keep putting them off so they're always on my mind. I want to get them done, get them off my mind, and move on to the next thing, People who have experienced death and dying issues also often live the life of a shark. Got to keep moving and hunting for fear of dying. Not uncommon. Don Berlin, you are a brilliant man. You hit it right on the head. Yeah, that's a lot of what it is. That one of my favorite scenes in The Sopranos is when she says to Tony Soprano, Dr. Melfi, she says, "Why does a shark keep moving?" You know, and why? Because they'll die if they stop. They have to keep breathing. You know what I mean? And that's how I am. I know old people. I had a friend named Duke. This motherfucker was 75 years old. Duke worked his ass off. He worked for a catering company I worked for as well. I was a cook though, and his job was the company had contracts for Meals and Wheels for like 5 different counties. You know what I mean? It was a difficult job. You had to get, they would cook the meals, but you'd have to wrap them, get them prepared, fill your coolers, fill your warmers, whatever. Then you got to fill up your fucking van. It's a very physically demanding job, a lot of heavy lifting. Then you drive, 8-10 hours from county to county, senior center to senior center, and you drag your coolers out on a hand cart, you bring them into the senior center, you fucking hand out the meals, whatever. But this guy was 75 years old and he did that shit all day. Then when he got done, he used to like to play the lottery. He'd go to the store, he'd play the lotto, buy a bunch of fucking tickets, play some scratch offs. Then he'd be out hanging out with some of the guys on the block, then he'd spend time with his wife. I said to him one time, because Duke was very well off, he didn't need that job. You know what I mean? I said, Duke, why are you doing this, bro? Why don't you relax? You're 75 years old. Why don't you just retire and enjoy your, golden years, whatever? He said, Chris, my mother lived to be 101. She never stopped moving. If I stop moving, Chris, I'm going to die. I have to keep moving. As soon as I decide, okay, it's time to rest, I'm going to die. That's what he told me. That was his true belief. And I said, you know what, Duke? You're probably right. Keep doing your thing, bro. And he liked it anyway. He was happy with his life. But Don Berlin is exactly right. When you have, something like I have, CHF, whatever, especially at a younger age, and you've experienced death, which I've experienced, many times, I shouldn't say death, because if I experienced death, I'd be dead. But you know what Don Berlin means and what I mean. Brushes with death. If you've experienced that, yeah, you tend to feel, in my experience, most people tend to feel like they have to keep moving and accomplish all they can because they don't know how much time they're going to have left. They know what it's like to almost die. And I think that's my thing. You can't slow me down. Nobody can. Shanna too. The only thing where it's probably hard on Shanna is Shanna, when she's off work, I always want to do something. Let's go out. Let's take a trip. Let's go on a vacation. Poor Shanna probably just wants to be at home because she spends a lot of time away from home. But I'm like, let's fuck that. Let's not be at home. Let's go be together. Let's go somewhere. Let's do something. But I also make sure Shanna has alone time. I'll leave the house for a few hours, maybe on a day if I see that she wants to just do her thing. She's fucking around on her laptop, whatever. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I can't slow down. Al Anastasia, for me, I was addicted to picking up the coke, not taking it, just having it on me. Weird. No, I understand that. It's like that. That can be addictive. Hustling can be more addictive than the drug you're selling. I'm sorry. Selling the drug could be more addictive than using it sometimes. That's what I meant to say. It's the thrill of the cop. You're going out to re-up. That's always fucking exciting. Then you're going home. You're going to fucking bag up. You have a ritual, just like an addict does. You know what I mean? If you got coke, you're going to go home and cook it. You want to cook it. You let it dry. Boom. You got to chop it up, bag it, And it's the ritual of it. And yeah, just having coke on you. Yeah, it's also an adrenaline rush in a way. Like for me, I used to feel like I couldn't live without the cops chasing me and constant paranoia of being robbed and stuff because I was so used to it. that just going to re-up and knowing that I got a large enough amount of cocaine on me to put me away for a decade at least, it would be an adrenaline rush just driving home. I would notice that. I would get a high from it. Alex, 1999, reduce stress. It will end up killing you. Yeah, you're right, Alex. And I need to. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Today was an eye opener for me. Jason Mike Sell, FBS, we love you, bro. Rant away. Thank you, Jason. This is why people say, like Handsome Jack will say it to me, or Frank or somebody, you know what I mean? Or, well, I'll tell you about Gunsmoke in a minute, but they'll say, how the fuck do you just go on there and talk like it? You could talk for an hour and you can keep people interested. RJ Roger used to say it to me all the time. It's because my mind is busier than my goddamn body. I always have shit on my mind. And I don't just get a thought. Guys, do you know that I've done most of my shows, like say I do an entire show bashing Lee and I talk for an hour straight just wrecking this guy. You know that's usually off of 5 or 10 seconds of something he said. Same with Angel or MRE. You could play me a fucking 30-second clip of something these guys say, and my mind will start racing with all the shit I could say in response. And it's nothing for me to just come on here and rattle off for a fucking hour. You know what I mean? That's I would say I consider that a gift because it helps me do this. I can make a living with my fucking words. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. My mind's very, very busy, cluttered. So these rants are not uncommon in the life of Chris Lodrago. Al Anastasia, €2, I believe. You're an no, that's pounds, isn't it? Motherfucker, I got it wrong again. £2. You're an inspiration, man. Thank you very much, Al. Thank you. I don't know about that. I hope so, but I'm a mess, so I don't know. After this show, you're going to be like, holy fuck, this guy needs to start using again. That's a joke. Thank you, Iceman's Poison Cheeseburger. But it's all right. This is an addiction recovery show. People could donate if they want, but I'm not worried about it. Oh, matter of fact, there you go. Steve Blair, $10 for Merry Christmas to you and Shanna. Thank you, Steve Blair. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well, my friend. Yo, what up, big bro? Just checking in, showing some love. What's up, Wise Guy TV? Good to see you, man. Listen, if you emailed me recently, I got to tell everybody this. If anybody's emailed me recently, and by recently, I mean in the last couple of weeks, and I didn't get back to you, my apologies. I just haven't really even been checking my email. So I'm sorry for that. One day, hopefully, I'll catch up, but I'm trying to do away with that anyway. Wise Guy TV, as a matter of fact, bro, did I ever give you my number? You could just text me anytime. If not, I'll email it to you later. I have a feeling I passed it along to you, though, at some point. Coke is a total psychological addiction. Yes, it is. There is no such thing as a withdrawal from cocaine. Only in your mind, not physically. It's all psychological. But let me tell you, one thing I learned is a psychological addiction can be just as strong as a physical addiction, meaning just because you won't get physically sick from not using it doesn't make it any easier not to use it. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time in my life where I was using cocaine like a madman every day, and then I just stopped. There actually was a time. It was in 2007. I stopped. I got a job. I started working. I got real busy, and I literally just stopped using cocaine. But the last few years I was using it. Every single day I told myself, I'm not going to anymore. I can do this. I can just stop. You know, I've had it. And it never worked. It never worked. That's why I always say get away. Because I think the only reason I was able to quit was because I removed myself completely by going to rehab. And by the time I left rehab, I didn't even have the cravings anymore. You know what I mean? I didn't. See, rehab is important for so many reasons, because not only do you learn a lot of different coping skills and tools you can use, as far as, mentally and stuff like that, to try to keep yourself clean and sober. But they take care of all aspects. You know what I mean? You'll be treated for your mental health as far as talking to psychologists and counselors and taking part in certain groups and classes. You'll be treated for your physical health. They'll check you out up and down, front and back. You know what I mean? And they'll put you on medications that can help you physically and mentally. It's therapeutic in all different types of ways. You'll get exercise, different things like that. You'll start to recover physically. So you could go into rehab in the worst conditions of health you've ever been in and leave there feeling like a brand new fucking person. That's why I'm such a fucking proponent of it, because I used to fucking laugh at the thought of rehab. Fuck no, I'm never going. You're never getting me in a rehab. Now, listen, God forbid I ever fucking relapse and I'm at rock bottom again. At least I know now that the one thing that will help me is getting away and going to rehab. Nothing else worked ever. That's the only thing that worked for me. And guys, I didn't come out of rehab and start attending AA and NA and, doing a 12-step program. If that works for people, go right ahead. But in my situation, it was the simple act of getting away and addressing all my mental and physical health issues and starting to feel better, and that's all I needed. I've been sober. It'll be 42. Wait a minute. It was 42 months yesterday, clean and sober. 42 months. And that, I never thought would be possible. But that was just from going to rehab for 21 days. I think is it 42 months now? It's either 42 or 43. Motherfucker, let me see. Yes, 42 months. Okay. 42 months clean and sober. FBS, if you ever decide you want to quit smoking cigarettes, go to your doctor and get a prescription for Wellbutrin. It works for smoking cessation. That's the one thing I haven't tried, handstand push-ups, guy, and I might just do that. Because I tried that. What's that shit they give you that's supposed to work? And it just makes you sick as a fucking dog. That shit was terrible. I was smoking the whole time I was taking it. I forget what it's called. Somebody in here will remind me. Adrenaline addiction. Yes, sir, Alex. As the compulsion and the OCD, etc., basically, as to the compulsion and the OCD, etc., basically often we need order because the using state things are chaotic and crazy, and then in sobriety, we yearn for order. See, Don, I believe you 100% because I wasn't like this back in the day. You know what I mean? I wasn't. I was okay with clutter and being totally and completely unorganized. I never had, I was always a clean person and shit, but I would not collect things, but I would keep shit. Not like a fucking hoarder to that, like you see on fucking TV, but I would have shit I just don't fucking need. Now I regularly go through my shit and throw as much as I can away. The other day, I threw, I won't even tell you, my fucking closet. Some of the shit I trashed, some of it I donated, I dropped in one of those boxes. But if you saw how many clothes and shit I got rid of, I gave my fucking stepson a whole stack of fucking joggers that were a size too small for me, that have been sitting in my closet, brand fucking new, for months. You know what I mean? I just get rid of anything I don't really, really want or need. I didn't used to be like that, so I believe you, Don. I think it is from being, the transition from using to be getting clean. Chemical addiction is likely the strongest addiction. Yes, I agree. 2007, when I got out of rehab and moved away to Connecticut to start over, my favorite year. Uh, yeah, bro, starting over sometimes is necessary. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's necessary. Billy T, FBS. This other show host said he is the master of addiction and recovery. It made me laugh. His name rhymes with slacking with snacks. The master of addiction and recovery. Well, whatever Stacks likes to call himself or think about himself, let him have a ball. You know what I mean? I have my opinion on Stacks' recovery, but it's not for this show. You could stop, but it's the thought of it that makes you do it. I wasted so many years, my man, on coke. Me too, Al. Yeah, man. It's like I said with smoking. You know, if I'm in a situation where I can't smoke, it could be all day. It doesn't even bother me. The minute I can have a cigarette, I have to. And it's the same thing with cocaine addiction. Cocaine addiction is like you know, you don't need it physically. But if it's there, and I don't even mean right in front of you, if you have access to it and you are mentally addicted, psychologically addicted to cocaine, you must have it and you're going to. Even if you know you got to drive 45 minutes away to meet your fucking connect in snow and sleet and whatever, you'll do it because you got to have it. That's another reason, you know, I talk about rehab the way I do, because rehab, like the one I went to, I'm in the middle of nowhere in the fucking mountains. I didn't have a car with me. I didn't have nothing. You know what I mean? And I refused to leave. I wasn't going to leave. So, you know, even though you're psychologically addicted, once you've gone long enough without it, you start to train your brain. Like, even psychologically, you realize that, wow, I never needed it to fucking begin with. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Wait a minute. I would think about getting an 8-ball Friday on Tuesday. Consumed my life. Oh, yeah. Well, see, I always had it. But I had a kid. This kid, his name was Andy, his first name. This fucking kid, man, he had a great job. You know, young, you know, I call him a kid, but he was like, I think when I finally stopped, you know, dealing with him, he was like 28. You know what I mean? I had been dealing with him for 4 or 5 years. And this kid, I mean, same as you're saying, bro. He would call me on Monday to make sure that I'm going to have what he needs on Thursday when he gets paid. But he knew I'd have it. I never ran out ever. There was never a point where I didn't have cocaine to sell. I might have ran out of personal. Like I allowed myself a certain amount, you know. And then what I would do if I ran out of personal out of one batch, I would go re-up as quickly as I could, so then I could take a personal out of that. You know what I'm saying? But I always had coke to sell, and he would know that I'd have it, but it was on his mind. Then he'd call me on Wednesday and check again. Yo, bro, we good for tomorrow, 4:30? Like, yeah, man. You know, it's all good, bro. And then he would get it. He would be fucking dancing. He'd hop out of his car. I would meet him, especially since there was a planned time and all that. I would meet him somewhere and I would have him follow me. I would take him to the middle of fucking nowhere. You know what I mean? When there's no cars anywhere. You can't be set up if you do it that way. And I would, you know, wait in my car. He would hop out of his car and come over and grab it. But the kid would be fucking dancing. He'd be so fucking happy and hyped up. And even though he worked the next day, he had to get it on Friday or on Thursday. I'm sorry. He worked Friday, but he got paid Thursday. He had to get it immediately. And then sometimes the kid wouldn't touch it until Friday after work. But there was times where the minute he got home, he started fucking with it. And he wound up missing work the next day. And then by Saturday, he spent his entire paycheck with me. Sunday, he was fucking miserable, thought he was dying from the come down. And then Monday, he'd start all over again. And this went on for fucking years. For years. Handstand push-ups guy. Miss can't be wrong. That's great. Remember, our bodies are much more resilient than we tend to realize. Keep working and gradually increase the intensity little by little. Stay strong. Yeah, that's very true. Like the liver, for example, is the most fucking amazing organ. Like you realize that a person can get a piece of a liver as a transplant and it will develop into a full functioning, fully functioning liver. I mean, it's amazing. Your liver can come back from a lot, but you can get it to the point where it can't come back anymore. Absolutely. You can absolutely go too far. You know what I'm saying? But you'd be surprised how bad it could get and still heal itself. It really is amazing. And even, the heart, everything, depending on your age. My mom quit smoking a few months ago after 55 years of smoking. And I'm telling you right now, I can tell the difference in how she walks. So can she. Of course she can. But I know my mom. Like I know how many steps she could take before she has to rest, before I know all that shit. I know how difficult it is for her to get up the fucking stairs. There was a point where she had to crawl up the stairs. It was terrible. Since she quit smoking, she's still in, very bad shape, but it's amazing how much good it's done her. She even tells me how much better she feels, how much easier it is to walk. It's incredible. And that's at 70 years old. No, it's 42. I did the math. Miss can't be wrong. Thank you, Al. I know you guys. Yes, it's 42. Don Berlin. And if you don't believe it, just start hosing again. Maybe you meant using again. And watch how your house becomes the village dump. It's amazing how drinking and chaos rains down garbage and a need for maid service 24/7. Yeah, you ain't kidding, bro. Chris, I walked 10 miles in the early hours over Woodland to get Coke. Oh, it's crazy. Holy fuck, bro. Yeah, that's nuts, man. I did some wild shit too, bro. Like, just when it came to reing up and stuff. Like I told you, it would be crazy because I'd still have Coke. But I didn't, I had a certain amount out of each, say, 2 ounces that I would fucking take for myself. And I needed to make a certain amount of profit, so I wouldn't go beyond that. So what I would do is I would get, even if I didn't have all my re-up money yet, I was nuts. I'd have all this product, but I'd still go borrow the money just to re-up. Then I'd pay it back as soon as I sold some shit. But I needed to re-up to take another personal out. You know what I'm saying? Fucking crazy. Doctor told me on Tuesday I'm pretty much a terminal patient at FBS. Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I'm very, very sorry. I'm glad you got to see the doctor, though. When I was 21, I would get paid Thursday. I would buy an ounce to sell, sniff it all, and owe a fortune to bad guys. It eventually got me badly beaten. Crazy times, man, and I thought I wasn't an addict. Yeah, that can definitely happen. It's no good. It's no good, man. See, I was fortunate enough that, I never got fronted. I always bought my shit. But yeah, I've known people that have done shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It can get ugly. You can get hurt bad. Or you could just put yourself in a situation where you owe all kinds of people fucking money. If you drink a cold glass of water 10 minutes before each meal, it will fool your stomach into feeling temporarily full, and you won't eat. You won't want to eat as much. It works. Good advice. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm still here, buddy. Al Anastasia, Chris, I would have 2 grams on me, but was worrying I'd run out and try to get 2 more grams. Yeah. Bro, you don't even want to risk running out, bro. You don't even want to risk it. Fuck that. And that was my thing too. That's why I would always re up so much because, like, I would get nervous because your connect runs out. There's droughts. There's all kind. Now I always had a couple of different connects, but there was one specifically that always had the fire, and I just trusted him. You know what I mean? And I would get fucking nervous. Like if I had 2 ounces and I went through all but maybe a half an ounce, and this motherfucker called me and said, "Bro, I'm running low." Oh, I'm reing up. I'm reing up because then not only will I run out of coke to sell, I'll run out of coke to do. Fuck that. That's good, William. At least you got something, bro. Oh man. I'm so sorry, guys. This fucking crazy, insane rant. You're probably like, what is on this motherfucker's mind? That's see the way you saw me like the first 45 minutes of this show or so. That's why I'm always moving. I'm like that a lot. When my mind is going like that, I may not be verbalizing it, but I'm acting upon it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to get this done, this done, this done, this done, this done. And it works away at me until it's all done. It eats away at me. It drives me insane. Like last night, I talked to Shannon about what we need yet. She was like, it's all right. I have all Friday and Saturday. I'll take care of it. Fuck that. That's too late. I'll take care of it. I want it done. I want it done. I don't want to have to worry that we missed somebody or we forgot to get something for someone or nah. I want this shit done today. FBS, don't feel bad about being old school. While I thoroughly love being single, once in a while I really miss not having a steady guy to just drive my effing car for me. I hear you, Jesse. And listen, it drives Shanna crazy, but I have to be the one driving. That's the way I grew up. You know what I mean? My father always drove. My mom drove by herself, but if my mother and father were together, my father was driving, period. And that's how I've always been. Plus, like I said, I have control issues. I don't like anybody driving me. Anybody. If I'm driving with friends, I'm driving. No matter what. That's the way I am. I'm the same way, FBS. It's our new habit. Yeah, I agree, man. I think it is. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the whole, recovery of your brain. Your brain's starting to heal. I don't know, but I have a lot on my mind all the fucking time. You know what I mean? And I just want shit done. I don't want to wait. I don't want to procrastinate. And even this, it's made it so easy for me to do this. Gunsmoke is like, in awe. He's like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you fucking just go on there with a topic and you could just talk for an hour straight. I don't either, bro. I don't know. I'm good at that. There was something else I wanted to tell you funny with Gunsmoke that he said about me. I can't remember. Fuck, man. Oh, that's what it is. Gunsmoke, you got to understand, I talk to Gunsmoke more than I talk to anyone. Really. You know what I mean? Like rarely is there a day that passes that me and Gunsmoke don't talk. And we don't talk for like 10 minutes. We'll be on the fucking phone 2 hours. You know what I mean? And quite often somebody else will call and we'll add them, we'll merge the call, add them to the conversation. We have fun. You know what I mean? It's like fucking a bunch of us, whatever. But Gunsmoke can tell you, I'm never still. I'm never just laying around or sitting on the couch, or, and he yells at me all the fucking time. Gunsmoke would be like, bro, you have to fucking stop. You're doing too much. You got to relax. And I'm like, no, no, somewhere between you and me, there's a fucking middle ground, and I should probably find that. But I can't slow down too much. You know what I mean? But he gets mad at me all the time. It's fucking funny. That's why. Why do you think it's hard? Anytime I've tried to switch to like true crime or something, why it's very difficult for me, because I can't sit still long enough to do the research and organize things, you know what I mean? And then, do the video and then edit the video. I can't sit still long enough. I can't get my mind to focus. I'm all over the place all the time. I used to be a motherfucker who could focus like crazy on whatever I'm into. DJing, I would fucking work an entire day on a 60-minute mixtape. You know what I mean? And I could stay focused and get it perfect. I can't do that anymore. I'll start fucking around with my shit, and then I'll be like, oh, fuck, I want to go out and get something. And then while I'm out, I'll be like, oh, when I get home, I got to do something on the computer. And then, so that's why it's hard for me to switch from what I do on here. Because what I do on here is easy. I do it right off the top of my head. True crime and all that shit, it takes a lot of work. And I'm going to eventually put in that work no matter what. But I have to make myself a schedule or something and say, okay, for 4 hours, you just sit here and work on this show. And then you do everything else after it, I'm sorting you and Shanna a Christmas bonus tomorrow on PayPal kicking up. You mean sending? Well, thank you, bro. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Your old habit didn't kill you, FBS, so don't let your new ones kill you. That's good advice, sis. And that's what my mom was telling me today. You don't even know. Like yesterday, you guys would have loved to hear the conversation. I was on the phone with Howie Santos, you know what I mean? Handsome Jack. And I had him on speaker because quite often, I'll be on the phone making a fucking thumbnail while somebody's on speaker talking, and my mom came home, and I started talking to my mom about, because earlier yesterday on Gunsmoke show, they were talking about my neighborhood in Glendale, Forest Park, and all that shit. So I had it on my mind yesterday. So my mom came home, and Howie happened to be on the phone, and I was like, Ma, this guy's from Ozone Park and blah, blah, blah. They were going back and forth talking about shit. And my mom, we were talking to Howie a little bit about my family's, mob ties, certain guys. Because there is a couple of guys that my grandfather was heavily involved with that I never told you about, but there's a good reason for that. So we were going back and forth talking about this shit. It was funny. You know what I'm saying? But my mom sees that I was on the phone for a couple of hours, and then as soon as I get off the phone, I do a show. Literally within 2 minutes of hanging up the phone, I'm doing a show. So today she yelled at me a little. She's like, you gotta fucking slow down. You gotta stop. It's crazy now. You never rest. So I'm going to take her advice. At least I'll try. Yeah, Miss Can't Be Wrong. You're right. That was wonderful advice from sis. True crime is your thing, man. I think so too. I have a lot of knowledge off the top of my head, but that's another thing. See, what you guys might think is a good show, to me, is a goddamn disaster. If I do a true crime show, it's got to be, because I'm so OCD and I'm a perfectionist, it's got to be laid out so well, spoken so well. You know what I mean? And I won't be happy otherwise. The story's got to be told perfectly. I got to have details, pictures, videos. It would take me, like a couple of videos I did, like the John Veazey one, the Joey Coyle one. It would take me 3 days. 3 days, because I couldn't just tell the story with some of the information. I had to have every single detail, and then I would fucking edit it for an entire day to get it perfect, and it would drive me insane. You know what I'm saying? So I got to relax and figure out how to simplify doing true crime shows, and that's what I'll do. You know what I mean? But I can't let my mind work on me, because it'll take me a fucking year to get one show done, because I'm nuts. Fritzy Giovanelli that's the guy I talk about. Yeah, but there was two other guys from a different family that my grandfather was heavily involved with. They weren't like Fritzy. They were a negative force in his life in the end. You know what I mean? But those I never really spoke about. But yesterday with Howie and my mom, we kind of talked about it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom, believe it or not, is like a mob historian. She knows all this shit. You know what I mean? Like she's read all the books and stuff. She lived with my father. You had no choice. You know what I mean? Whether you liked it or not, you were going to become a mob historian. So she knows a lot of stuff. Nah, you were right, Miss Can't Be Wrong. You were right. I do forget things from time to time. Oh God, I forget things constantly. FPS, I think every time we have spoken, you have been shaven. I'm sorry. I think every time we have spoken, you've been shaven or doing some kind of task. LOL. Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I laugh when people like Lee Cole say, "You never leave your house." I'm like, really? Not only do I leave my house, I usually leave my house several times a day to go out and do shit for hours at a fucking time. I'm never home. Never fucking home. If shit's open and stuff and I could be out accomplishing something, I'm out. I don't sit around. I can't. As much as I'd like to. Yeah, I need somebody like that. Miss Can't Be Wrong. I need somebody like that. Because I can't fucking focus. Yeah, I know, I know. You guys would love her. You guys would love her. You know what I mean? Brooklyn woman, born and raised, lived in Bed-Stuy. You know what I mean? Most of her fucking life, and then moved to Maspeth, and then Glendale. You know what I mean? So she's still got the accent and everything. She's funny. She's an old Italian, funny fucking lady. Great sense of humor. A little bit of an attitude. You know what I mean? A little sassy from time to time. Yeah, you'd have fun talking to her, Miss Can't Be Wrong. That's a good idea too, Jesse Roth. Really, Miss Can't Be Wrong. That's what I need, a fucking digital notebook. That would work for me. Index cards, the whole thing. That's another good idea. William Brooklyn. I wish I did, bro, but I don't have any family left, really. You know what I mean? Miss Can't Be Wrong. She is cool as fuck. But William Brooklyn, I have my there's a long story behind my mother's side of the family. There's still some people on my mother's side of the family. Some we speak to, some we don't. As far as my father's side of the family, from time to time, I talk to my aunt. I haven't talked to my uncle in a long time. That's my dad's brother. You know what I mean? Other than that, my grandmother died. You know how that goes sometimes. When grandma dies, the whole family, seems to go their separate ways. I had another aunt that died, of course. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have any grandparents or anything. You know what I mean? And it's just really me, my mother, my brother. You know what I mean? And our families. So sometimes we'll do Christmas at my brother's house or here. Sometimes we'll do it at Shanna's parents' house, whatever. It depends. But listen, I'm very grateful that Shanna's family is the way they are with me. You know what I mean? Or yeah, I guess so. They're very accepting. They don't fucking judge me. They don't. They never did. They never seemed to look down on me. I've had girlfriends whose parents were like, they thought they were fucking aristocrats, very wealthy, and I was like, from the minute I walked in the door, they were like, who the fuck is this guy? It's not like that with Shanna's family. They're awesome. You know what I mean? So I enjoy being with them. Oh, really? Miss Can't Be Wrong? Oh, shit. Now I'm going to have to go out and buy a digital notebook. FBS, you have a lot of family on here, man. I know, bro. That's another reason I'm so grateful for you guys. And I appreciate you saying that. That's what I want to tell, and this is why I say right here, the people of MobTube love you and that ticker. We all have each other now. You know what I mean? It's an awesome thing. Like, even though I'm trying to get away from the email situation a little bit because I get so many. There's a lot of people I love and I want to answer, but they get buried, with other emails from people I don't even know. People email me silly questions. Like, somebody I don't even know will email me and be like, "Yo, why did SoFlo do this or that today?" The fuck you asking me that for, bro? You emailed me for that? Ask him. He's got an email. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of people I speak to through email I love talking to, but I'll get so many emails in one day. It'll take me 10 minutes to scroll just to find the ones I want to respond to. So, but if any of you guys ever needed to talk to me or wanted to, and you email me, you put urgent or something in the subject line, I'll fucking email you back. You leave me your number, I'll call you. We all got each other. You know what I mean? I love that I can come on here and rant to you guys like this today. So yeah, you're all definitely my family. As far as I'm concerned, you're at my house right now. This can't be wrong. I will. I'll check that out. L'chaim Putz, we meant to convey that you have a higher calling, talent, and skills that are above discussing your detractors, which I understand you must to some degree. Good work with this A&R show. Stay well, friend. Well, thank you, L'chaim Putz. Thank you very, very much, bro. I think I do too. I just think I need to slow the fuck down. If I slowed down and I worked on this channel the way I know how to, there would be no more, Lee and Angel and shit talking and drama. I would fucking blow up. I know I could. You know what I'm saying? I even know how to go about it. I just have to focus long enough to make it fucking happen. And I think some of it, to some extent, I'm not going to front, is laziness. You know what I mean? I fucking, I know that I could come on and do a highly entertaining show just talking about some of these scumbags, rather than take an entire day to organize and plan a show about some true crime thing. So I take the easy way out sometimes. I'll be the first to say it. And that's another problem of mine I got to work on. Anytime, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Listen, it don't matter. Mustache Pete just told you. Like, I could be in the middle I'll be at the mall shopping. I'll be fucking making thumbnails on my phone. I'll be pacing outside, smoking a cigar, whatever. I'm always on the phone. I don't care. I'll be accomplishing something while I'm on the phone with you. What borough has the strongest New York accent? Oh, Brooklyn, without a doubt. You're in all our homes too. That's awesome. I'm visiting a lot of people all at once. Thank you, Jesse. Pace yourself. Yeah, I need to. I'm a nut. CFBS, this is what sets you apart from everyone else and makes you better. Thank you, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Unlike other creators, you don't need to sit here 7 hours bashing people. You could talk with us about everything. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll tell you about my life. I don't care. People can make fun of me, whatever. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you my faults and everything else. And I have a lot. I'm a fucking mess. I really am as a person. I'm a disaster. I'm a walking fucking disaster. But I'm sober and I'm clean. So it could be worse. So listen, guys, I'm down to 59 people here. I think people got bored with me. I am very sorry if this show sucked as far as addiction and recovery. I don't even, I should have been talking about addiction and recovery a lot more. I apologize. But this is my, state of mind today. I'm all over the fucking place because I know that as soon as this show is over, I got to do some other shit. I'm sure Miss Can't Be Wrong. I hope so. Listen, at the very least, you got to hear me ramble like a fucking mental patient for an hour and a half. Hopefully that was somewhat entertaining. But I think I'm going to shut it down for now because, like I said, I still have things to do. Thank you very much for being here. Stay strong. Do everything you can to either begin your journey to recovery or fucking get yourself into a facility, get away from people, places, things, try to heal your mind and your fucking body and start a whole new life. It's important. And I'm sorry if this one sucked. The next one will be better, I promise. Please write these numbers down. You know what to do. Keep them in your purse, wallet, man bag. If you're a kangaroo, put them in your pouch, whatever. You know what I mean? Keep them on you. There's the National Addiction Hotline. And the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is 988. It's very important to have those nearby at all times. All right, guys, listen, thank you for everything. Again, I apologize. I love you all. And until next time, salute.